making a roast here at the Young's house, and today we're doing it old school style. Oh yeah, I'm making it like your grandma would make it. This recipe is so much fun and it tastes so good. If you love a good roast like we do here at the Young's house, you're gonna live for this recipe. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some roast. I'm using a chuck roast, a boneless chuck roast, okay? And so you're gonna need some carrots. I have some beautiful carrots, the kind that are crinkle cut. Okay, you're gonna need some broth. If you don't have broth, just use some chicken bouillon powder or some beef bouillon, make it into a broth, okay? I got some chicken broth. It doesn't have to be beef, all right? We have some pepperoncinis, really interesting ingredient we're using today. It's gonna give great flavor to this roast. We got a nice sweet Vidalia onion, a beautiful green bell pepper, and I have some little tiny potatoes. And then how we're gonna go old school is we're using the onion soup mix. One seasoning packet, just one of the packets. Inside of my pan here, I got a little bit of oil because we're gonna need to sear this off. We're gonna sear it off so we can lock in the juices, okay? Now, alongside of our roast, we're having some stuffing. And I'm also gonna make up some quick cornbread. You're gonna need some spices to make everything come together and taste amazing. We have some soy sauce. We have some flour, a little bit of liquid smoke. I have salt. I have onion powder, garlic powder, parsley flakes, black pepper, and I have some paprika. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make a roast together. We're gonna make it old school style. Let's make it. Y'all are having a great day today, and if you're not, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this here recipe. Who loves a roast like we do? Oh my goodness, it's been a while since we had one. My family requested it, and so here we are, and I'm sharing this recipe. Get your pen, your paper, your pencil out so you can take notes. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna season up our roast. Let's season it very well to give it some good flavor. And then we're gonna put it in this pan where I have a tiny bit of oil, just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan, because what we need to do is we need to sear this so we can like kind of lock in the juices. So let's go ahead and season. I'm going in with black pepper, and I'm not gonna be shy with it. We're gonna flip it over and season the other side as well. I'm going in with garlic powder, just like so. If you wanted to, if you have a fresh piece of garlic, like a clove of garlic, you can cut a little slit in there, stick that garlic in there if you wanted to, okay? So I'm gonna go in with some paprika. This is not smoked paprika, it's just regular, okay? And I'm gonna put some salt. We're gonna flip it over, season the other side just like so, and then I'm gonna let these spices really seep down into this meat for about 15 minutes before we even put this in the pan. Go ahead and season the other side. This is gorgeous. All right. Not too much salt because the onion soup mix that we're using has quite a bit of salt in it, right? There we go, lovely. Now, there's something that you can do. This is really if you want to. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't, which, excuse me, after I season this, I'll take and dust it with a little bit of flour before I put it in the pan. So if you want to do that, you can do it. And that flour will help to make the juices that's in the pan nice and thick, almost like a gravy. But I do have flour, and I will be dusting it inside of the pan. So whichever way you want to do it, I'm just going to dust the flour in the pan instead of coating the meat with it. Let's go ahead and get this roast right into this pan of that hot oil. Leave it on there until you see you got like a nice dark char to it. You're not trying to fully cook it. You just want to get a little crust on both sides, and even if you want to get these sides done, you'll be able to hold it up in the pan like that, but I really don't worry about the sides too much. Let's go ahead and chop up any vegetables that you would like to have along with your roast. Some of those other ingredients that you could use could be celery. Sometimes I'll put mushrooms in mine. So have fun with your vegetables that you put. I'm just using the typical, sides that would go in a roast like back in the days, because we're doing this old school style. Bell peppers and onions is a must. The potatoes and the carrots must, right? So here's what I'm doing. I'm chopping them up kind of big, just a rough chop, nothing special. These peppers peppers and onions and all of these ingredients are going to give this roast so much flavor because these vegetables roast in that pan and they pick up all the flavor from the meat and the seasonings and yum, yum, yum. My potatoes that I have today, they're the little tiny ones, right? So when you have these, you don't have to peel them. Just cut them down, or you could leave them whole if you want, just like this. Now, one thing I always like to tell everybody, if you're putting the vegetables around your roast, you let the roast cook in the oven like half of the way. When that roast is halfway done, that's when we'll come in and put the vegetables in. Because if you put the vegetables in too early, they will turn into total mush. And we're not looking for that, right? No. That's the last time you all had a good roast. Be honest. Was it good? Was it the best roast you've ever had? I'm telling you one thing. You guys are going to absolutely love how easy this roast comes together. You know, it does take a while. But the wait is worthwhile, I'm telling you, because it's packed with so much flavor. Super simple to make. Once this gets into the oven, you can go sit down and just let it cook, right? Because that's what I'm going to do. I have this big roasting potato that I went ahead and peeled because I want some of this potato in as well. So I figure as big as it is, this will be plenty enough. And I'm just going to chop it into large, like squares, you know, just like this. Don't cut your vegetables too small because they'll turn into mush. These are the type carrots that I love to use when I make a roast. They're like crinkle cut. They come in the fresh produce section. These are not the frozen ones, but I just really love the texture versus those little baby carrots. So this is the kind that I like to use. Let's go ahead and turn our roast over. It smells like it has a nice sear. Let's go ahead and get that other side nice and brown as well. Oh yeah, look at that. Since I'm not putting my potatoes in with the roast right now, I have them in cold water because otherwise they'll oxidize. That means they'll just turn brown while you're waiting. So, but if you put them in water, you won't have that happen to you. I'm going to take this whole sweet Vidalia onion. We're going to chop it down just like we did the bell peppers. Let's do it. I'm all excited. I'm telling y'all, my stomach is rumbling already. My mouth is watering, and I cannot wait for dinner. When I have a roast, I cannot have roast without having cornbread on the side. It just goes together like peas and carrots. Yes, it does. Let's go ahead and take our roast out of the pan. Okay. Wow. We're going to put it into this. This is a 9x13 baking dish. I like to use something that has a high lip because we're going to have liquid in here. All this goody stuff right here, I want to keep that. Look at what we're going to do. Yes. Now here's how we're going to take it old school. Onion soup mix. You don't have to get the Lipton onion soup. Just get the cheapest kind because they all taste the same. You hear me? Yes, they do. You're going to use that whole packet. That whole packet is going to give you that flavor that you remember as a child, guaranteed. Look at this. Put it all over the top of the roast. And when this is cooking, if you don't want to, you don't have to turn this ever. It's going to cook and do what it needs to do without you turning it over. Okay? Make sure you're getting that onion soup all around the pan. I know, who's excited about this? We're going to go in with some soy sauce. I'm not using a lot, just a little bit because I want to use it. This is a low sodium soy sauce. We're going to use a little bit of liquid smoke. Anytime you use liquid smoke, you always have to use a tiny bit, right? 1, 2, 3, that's good. All right, we're going to go in with a very interesting ingredient, pepperoncinis, okay? Pepperoncini peppers, these are like mild flavor, but trust me, they give some of the best flavor to a beef roast, even a pork roast. I'll put about 3 or 4 of them in here. Let's go ahead and put us some broth in, and I'm just being honest, if you don't have broth, it's okay, use water, right? Because you already seasoned the meat good, it's gonna pick up that flavor, and the onion soup mix has a ton of flavor, but I like to use broth. So what I'm gonna do, if the meat, let me explain it to you. If the meat is this thick, I want to bring the broth up to the middle of the meat. That's going to be the perfect amount to get this thing nice and tender. And we're cooking it on 365 degrees today. And guess what? We're not covering it. Do not cover it. And don't put the vegetables in too early. The vegetables, if they go in right now, they'll turn into mush. I'll tell you the perfect time to get those vegetables in there. Let's get this. Meat is about 85% of the way cooked. And, you know, the vegetables are in and everything's cooking together, we will decide to put between 2 and 3 tablespoons of flour in there. Just kind of shake it in there, give it a nice stir, and it'll turn all that liquid in there into a lovely gravy that you're gonna love. You only need 2 or 3 tablespoons of flour. And make up a really quick cornbread that's gonna be good. And yes, when I have cornbread, I want a little bit of sweetness in mine. I don't want it sweet to taste like cake, but I have to have a little bit of sweetness. I don't want it to be all savory. And here's what we're gonna do, a big twist. We're putting cheese in that thing. When I tell you it tastes good, you just have to try it to understand what the sugar and cheese will do to your cornbread. Oh my goodness. Yes, I have some oil in here already. We're gonna go ahead and put us some milk. Okay, and we're just gonna mix it, and I'm not gonna measure it. These are 2 boxes of the Jiffy cornbread mix that I absolutely love. A lot of people like to say, you're not making it homemade. I can make it homemade, but I don't feel like it, right? So we're doing Jiffy, and we're gonna make it taste good. Get our cornbread batter into an oiled pan, into the oven, right on the top rack. Go ahead and make some stuffing. Y'all, when I tell you I love this, it's so easy. It ain't never let me down. It's always good. Sometimes I get the no-name brand. They taste just as good. But I do not follow the directions. I don't follow the directions on here. They tell you put like a tablespoon of butter. They don't do it. When I make it taste good, I'm using a whole stick of butter. I am. I'm going to use that 1.5 cups. This is a little over 1.5 cups, but we should be okay. Right? Let's get that in there. We want to get this to melting and coming up to a slight boil. But I have some minced onion that I'm going to throw in here. There's already some little pieces of onion within the seasoning packet, but I want more. So let's get us some more in there. Okay, and I'm going to put a nice amount of garlic powder in here on purpose. All right, as soon as this comes up to a boil, we'll turn around and take this packet that has the croutons and the seasoning all in one pack. We mix it in, let it cook for about 5 minutes, cover it up, and turn the heat down. Water is boiling with our seasonings and our butter. Go ahead. We're going to put that dressing in here. Stuffing. Do you guys call it stuffing or dressing? I think I kind of go back and forth. Oh, man, this smells good. You hear me? Ooh. All right, we're just going to kind of mix it up real good, cover it up, turn the heat on. People like to ask me, how long are you going to cook the roast, and how do you know how long to cook the roast? I'm going to be honest with you. When I get my roast, I will always cook it 2 hours. 2 hours going to make that thing nice and tender. You hear me? And here's the thing. If I check it after 2 hours and it's not as tender as I want it, keep letting it cook. Keep letting it cook. And like I said, I never cover it with foil. You know, a lot of people think if you cover it with foil, it'll be more tender. It's going to be tender because it's sitting inside of a broth, you know. I'm going to make up some Kool-Aid. Yeah, I am. It's Friday night. Happy Friday to everybody. I hope your day and your weekend is going to be absolutely amazing. I don't have a full thing here, y'all. So I guess I'll make a half thing of Kool-Aid. I made that Kool-Aid last week. I can't remember what video I did, and that Kool-Aid was so good. And so here we are again making some more Kool-Aid. I don't need it, but I'm drinking some tonight just because it's Friday. Oh, it smells so good. I think that's cherry. Did y'all grow up on Kool-Aid like I did? The kind that I grew up on was the kind that came in a packet. You would use 2 packets for like a Kool-Aid pitcher like this, and then you would put that cup of sugar in there. Some people put a whole lot more sugar. Oh my goodness, I know. My whole house smells amazing right now. I know the neighbors can smell this because I got some windows open. I know they like, what's she over there cooking right now? Listen, I know if you come to the front door, all the fragrance coming out the screen door. This is done, but it ain't all the way done. It's done enough to put the vegetables in. Let's just put it that way, okay? So we know that typically to cook the potatoes is going to be a good 35 minutes, right? So let's plan on putting all our vegetables in right now for another 35 minutes. Then we're going to be taking this out the oven. Now, let's talk about when we're going to thicken up this gorgeous juice right here at the last minute. We'll do it at the last minute. Vegetables going right in. And just put them all around. You can put them under the meat too if you want, however you want to do it. as much or as least of those vegetables, sometimes I turn around and put fresh tomato in here. But if you want to put fresh tomato in, you always put it in like the last 5 minutes, you know, so it doesn't turn into mush. Push those vegetables down in there. This is going to be spectacular. Look at this. Come on in close. The whole house smells amazing. Now, here's what I like to do. And I sprinkled about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons of the flour, and it gave this broth a nice gravy consistency. Oh yeah. So listen, here's what I like to do. We're gonna take this whole piece of meat out. We're gonna shred that thing. And if it's nice and tender, we're gonna be able to do it with 2 forks just by doing literally cook this roast for 2.5 hours. Look at shreds apart like butter. I don't even need a knife. Are you kidding me? This is what a tender roast should look like. Let's get this right back into here. If you enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up. If you ain't subscribed but you're waiting on, tell the world what Gina's doing in this kitchen every single day. I can't wait to eat this roast. Father, I thank you for this meal today, your hedge of protection, your love time, your mercy, and your understanding. Amen. Stay tuned because we got to taste this. Let's taste. I'm so excited. I'm going right in for this big piece. And the potatoes and vegetables, just as tender. Come on.